programming with aka the Cedar prints. So we're also going to test out the notifications thing. So let's see if that works. Can you go ahead and click follow unfollow? I'm sorry that the stream looks horrible. We're going to change over to actual REPL and start coding in a second. Go, Jacob.
Wait, what am I doing?
If you can follow me.
Okay, follow you.
Follow and unfollow. Yeah.
Okay. Let me get over there right now. Give me a second. I'm just going over to Brain RPG.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to unmute you. I mean, unfollow you. Let me see how to do that.
You click the heart button.
All right, you're unfollowed. And then do I just follow you again?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
I
so
followed you.
You should have shown up on the stream. Yeah. All right, that should be working. All right, great.
I didn't see anything pop up on your stream, Miguel. Oh,
you glitched out a bit, but yeah. Great. So, all right, we're there. Excellent. So that works.
Okay.
Or it should be. Still with us? Uh-oh, Discord might be down. It's way too many things going on.
Just let you know, Miguel, I'm actually get off in a little bit just because I'm actually getting pretty hungry.
Oh, okay, that's great.
Yeah.
I just posted it on Slack everywhere though. So you're famous now. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
They're all gonna go and see you like be hungry.
Oh no.
No, it's just it's fine. It's fine. Let me I'm just gonna do my thing then. Oh, who is that? Oh my god, wait, I missed that. This thing is too small for me to see that. No. But thank you to whoever followed. Yeah, that was great. Now I need to there's like a whole set of
That
things.
was probably me.
Yeah. All right. Just give me a second to see the notifications.
Ignored. You just ignored Ola. Gosh darn it.
It's the first time I'm running this, right? So let me see how it's going. Nope. There we go. Chat. All right. I'm now looking at chat and then my activity feed. All right. So I should be able to keep up with the stream now. Notification. All right. Yeah. Thanks. Thanks, Sasha. So if you don't know, Sasha just commented on Slack. Sasha's like one of the maintainers of the Julia Exercism. So he's the person, he's the most knowledgeable one about setting all of this up.
Oh man. Living legend. That's awesome.
Yeah. Wait. So I am here and I am doing the vim run length encoding JL, and I'm removing some stuff, and then I think I can just rock this one without the dual screen though. Let's do that. Yeah. How about we just do that? Oh. I don't need this extra screen. Oh, I think that's what Colin meant when there was wrong indentation. This comes and sometimes it was slang, but other than that, it's great. People are very much into commenting on indentation, and I can now understand why. And Alaskar. All right, this looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yours is offline. Now it's online. Yeah, thanks, Sasha. And then Mark Sattelfim. So this is way more people than I expected from Mark Sattelfim. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Well, it's still early days, right? Like maybe the pandemic just dies out and then nobody has time to stream anymore. So what do you know? But we're here. We're doing our best.
Yeah. Just, one day at a time.
One day at a time. All right, so now we check the exorcism. Complete exercise. Ah, yeah. I've completed 36 out of 50, and at least I know that 2 or 3 of those I just completely just uploaded the first thing that passed test and would be not acceptable. I did that with Bob, and I did that with the spiral matrix.
Why is Bob evil?
Just look at the exercise. Don't even look at the exercise. Just look at the test suite, and you'll see why. It's just a test suite. I think it's good if you're ever gonna handle strings in the real world, but oh dear lord, it's just edge case after edge case. And when I was starting out with Julia, I hated it so much that I almost quit exorcism on that exercise alone. Oh yeah, and I always leave very kind reviews for the people that help me out with my code. It's my thing. I mean, many of them were extremely dedicated. Helped me go through 8 or 9 code versions of just trying to push out the performance.
Gotcha.
Oh. Yeah, you just got a comment on the Discord saying that there's several video qualities that you can offer, and Jacob, so there's something you can push somewhere so that you can offer people more different resolutions, because if we're streaming 1080p on just text, that might not be friendly to people who are in the global south and have spottier internet, or if you're uploading something to YouTube that maybe they could download offline and look at it later.
True.
All right, where are you at? I'm gonna look at your stream for a second. What are you trying to do?
I was just getting started on transpose, which is one of the exercises.
Oh my god, I hated that one so much too. I sucked at this one. This one took me 2 or 3 weeks more than I think it should have. I think I would feel free to skip that one too if you don't get it within an hour. I just think there's way more tricky cases, or I mean it depends on what you're going for, right? Like if you want to like actually learn to transpose and reshape vectors and all that stuff and iterate through strings, great, go for it. But it was just a headache for me.
Oof. And also, I'm just looking at why, some odd reason,
What's that
I
butterfly
don't
website
offer
you're looking at, by the way?
butterfly websites.
Yeah, the one with the green butterfly thing.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So that's actually extension that I use to prevent me from like when I'm working, it prevents you from being distracted because sometimes, you'll just like randomly try to go to like a website without even thinking about it. Like maybe check Facebook or some random website.
Yeah.
And that just helps you take a second to be like, do you really want to go to that website? And most of the time, I'll be like, I've gotten better at it to where I'll be like, yes, I really want to. But sometimes I'll be like, why am I actually going to this website? I'll just waste time. So it helps you just to take a moment to actually think about what you're doing.
All right. Yeah. I need to kneecap myself sometimes too. It is known.
Yeah. I'm just like trying to find out where I can stream different qualities.
I can't remember which one of these I was trying to solve, but I think that so this one is done. I'm on the robot.
Maybe
Yeah, I'm on the robot.
is it and the robot? Got you.
Yeah, it's one of the last ones, and it has to do. Sasha, why does doing that not work? Oh, it might have. Like I surrendered on that exercise. Maybe I'll come back to it when I'm not as traumatized about it.
Oh, I'm sorry, dude. That's not good.
No, I mean it's just like there's some problems where it's not too hard, but because you started out with the wrong mindset, then you just like keep on getting jammed, and it's just like hard to. Oh, but
No, I hear you.
no, Sasha's talking about something else. He's saying that something should have worked, but it didn't. Um, I don't know. I've done a lot of like what do we call it? Surprise code testing on the code base because like there's not that many people that have like directly given Sasha feedback and like live streamed their attempts, and so he's been like, why does that happen? That shouldn't happen.
Yeah. I honestly do not know how to change my video quality. I'm just like taking a second to try to figure out how I can change that around.
Hmm. I to be honest, I don't know how I did it either.
Maybe it was just something with your computer? I don't know.
Are you using OBS as well?
I am using OBS. I'm using OBS to stream, and then I'm using. Maybe it's because I have an overlayer set something.
Maybe.
Because I have a few different. Just like one actually, just the button.
Ooh. All right, I'm doing something silly here. Oh, that was silly. Grr. So you know what's also really cool about doing this paired programming and like looking at other people code? There's a lot of like I don't know, like anthropologists had this right when they said like the smartest way to go about doing something is to look at someone that's been doing that for a while and just copy them.
Yeah.
And looking at people like move around their REPLs and like their terminals and all that stuff, like that's so useful. There's so much like peripheral knowledge and like skills or just like habits that
Mhm.
impact your productivity that you can just pick up from other people and you'll just not have to worry about that anymore. I think streaming is a really good platform for helping people or beginners like just ask questions about like you if you can't sit next to someone who's brilliant but you can watch them code like that can help a lot.
Oh, eres de Argentina? I have a um. There's just a someone speaking Spanish in my chat right now, and I
Nice.
can't tell, but their accent sounds like they're from Argentina. But I'm not,
¿Qué onda?
yeah.
No, ¿qué onda might be Mexican. Don't know.
Yeah.
Eh, it's Latin.
Actually, I just never heard anyone in Mexico say "que onda." The only time I ever heard it is when I speak to my Argentinian friends.
Mm. I was on the robot. Let's do the robot. Robot. Yeah, but the last five side exercises are really great for teaching a person like more idiomatic Julia and dispatch and building up your structs. I really like them.
Yeah.
Um, oh, dearest Lord, that was a hell of a test message. No method matching
Words
points.
for indexing. Like you could say, I know in Python you could say something like the same in Julia.
You're saying that in Python you can do what?
In Python, you could say, here's like an array or a string, and like the string is like hello world. And say if I wanted to, for some reason, just print the whole string without printing it or something, I could do indexing of the string where I could say like 1:, the word end. Is that the same in
Yeah,
Julia or
and we
does
also have begin.
begin?
Yeah, so you can write something like this. AB, so you could do string equals, I'm writing in your chat right now, and then you can do um, string 2 to end, and that will work. And then you can also slice a string with begin and -1. So that those sort of slicing things also work in Julia. They also work in a more generic way because sometimes not all collections will start at the one index in Julia, or you might not want it to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just have to be careful with strings because when they have Unicode, it doesn't necessarily be one. So you can't have index from 1 to 2 when it's Unicode. So with strings, there's some special parts for it, which like next index or stuff like that.
Which one? Which exercise are you on?
Interesting.
For some reason, there's something that like is covering your dynamic follow
Oh,
button.
is there?
No, it's definitely a my user interface thing, but it says like it's just covering the function that has to the name.
Oh, no. Yeah, so right now, what I'm just trying to do with my REPL is trying to simply use substring, the substring function, and index string. I want to go from like 1 to n. But for some reason,
Oh, but
I think it only accepts integers.
why are you using substring? Why are you just not? If you look at my chat, you can just. If you look at the chat that I just sent you, you can just use that.
Yeah, yeah. The only reason why I'm not is just with transpose, you'd be given a string. So that's why I was looking at using substring. Because
No,
rather than
you're not. So if you look at the type signature, you're not going to be given a string. You're going to be given an abstract array.
an abstract string.
And just to comment on what Ole said, if you go into the reverse exorcism, there's a great case to be made about like not using straight indexing into strings. And there's if you look at the solution that I posted, a lot of people enjoy just using the reverse base method, but then that horribly breaks when you're using Unicode, because not all, what's the name for it? Not all code points are the same like byte width. So if you use indexing, things break horribly. And actually, I can show you that in the REPL. If you just look for the help docs on reverse, that should show you a counterexample to not doing that. Yeah, the help docs on reverse in the REPL should show you that.
Oh, okay.
All right, at any rate, back to my robot.
This is kind of addictive.
Yeah.
That's super weird. Your help of the reverse function looks different than mine.
Really?
On mine, the head is on the X in both cases and not on the E.
Really?
But
Which version of Julia are you using?
1.4.1.
Same.
You should definitely file an issue for that, because that is like that's worth filing an issue.
Yeah, hang on. I'll just double check just to make sure. Yeah, 1.4.1. Can I get more details? Is there anything else I can get? Like a verbose?
Just give me a second. I'm answering someone on what they can use to teach yeah, if you're trying to teach Julia to people in high school, middle school, I think Julia.jl is a really good open free book that is available online. I'm an idiot.
Well, I'm using Fedora 30. Maybe that's. I don't know if that could be an issue.
Wouldn't know.
I didn't think so.
Hmm.
That I'm getting. Let me see. Well, I mean, the documentation wasn't wrong. It is a surprising result, just not the result that I think any of us were expecting. Let's see.
Ah.
What's funny is I was just looking at the Slack. Is that everyone was rendering the documentation just a little differently. Huh. I don't know why that is.
Oh yeah, look. I'm looking at it now.
Yeah, because if you look at Sasha's, his has the up caret after the X. Ola's has his above the X, and then mine has it above the E. So I don't know why everyone's is different.
So Windows doesn't handle it. And Ole, which system are you on?
Linux.
Linux. And which terminal?
It's inside Tmux in Termite.
I don't know.
But I also have it in my Visual Studio codes as well. So
Oh, so it's not just because I'm using the built-in terminal on Visual Studio.
In Jacob's screenshot, Jacob. Wow, that is weird.
Yeah, it's different for every single person. That's so bizarre.
I'm almost sure that So if there's any person that would know about that, it'd be Scott Jones.
He's back.
Yeah, the docs. Oh, great. It broke my code. How about no one's gonna know? Yeah, thanks, Sasha.
Sasha, do you need any more comment from any of us, or are you pretty good?
By the way, one question: does graphemes work for you when you try it out in your REPL? Because for me it says
I don't even
it's
know
not
how to
defined.
type that character.
So when you just copy the last one, like the join reversed collect of graphemes,
Yeah.
if
Here?
You
if
might
you
have
copy
to
the last,
you might have to do a base.unicode. Oh lordy.
My terminal version info output can help. Yeah, I'll get it to you, Sasha. So, Ola, to answer your question though, it does render in my REPL.
because for me graphemes is not defined.
Oh no, wait, graphemes does not work.
Yeah, and I think
you need
Oh,
to
it needs to
Unicode
using
graphemes, I think. Nope, not that.
Nope. Okay, so I just had to do using Unicode,
okay.
and then it worked.
Yeah, because that's the line above it, right? Yeah. Clever stuff.
Got it. Go. Let's see. So, everyone, you might want to. It might not just be my terminal either. I think it sounds to me like it's all of ours. So, Ola and would you mind including yours as well, Ola? Sasha just wants the version info.
Oh yeah, sure.
What's the hack for like destructuring a tuple in a function argument? That's super cool. I never remember how to do it.
I had another guy from Exercism jump into my chat and say hello. His name is Tayyib.
Cool. Don't know this person, but hello, Taib.
His name's Servok. So I just said hello to him. Let's see.
These headphones hurt my head after a while.
Can you scroll up in your stream again to the join reversed function?
Yeah. This one?
There you go.
Is that the output which is expected?
According to the documentation, yeah.
Because for me, when I type the head over the E, whatever it's actually called, I get the head above the E as well again. So my output is actually different than yours.
That is such a weird bug.
All right, we got another issue. Pull an issue.
You should. There's also a strings channel on the Julia Slack. If you feel like tormenting some people to chase this bug on different systems. Because like there's got to be like a hefty Unicoding testing suite in Julia. Like I'm sure of it.
I'd imagine, yeah.
Yum 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 yum.
What?
I'm just yawning.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'm undoing all the stuff that I did with my first change. This is progress. Turn right not defined. Great.
Great. All right. Expect it's not happy.
Which one are you on? Are you still on the transpose one?
Yeah, I get distracted by the shenanigans in the Slack, and I'm just learning about different functions right now.
Don't want to happen.
Just Six Pack is starting the conversation about the error we found.
Oh, Six Pack. Six Pack is great. Hi, Six Pack.
Yes.
Miguel here.
Is that
Six Pack might be able to join our Discord.
cool?
Oh,
Get him in. Get him in.
yeah, just pile it all on. We need the
Yes.
views. Otherwise, we can't do it. It's for a good cause, please.
I know. We need to get associates so we can do the whole multi-stream.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm
thanks
an
for.
idiot. I need to like not flip over to Slack whenever I'm on stream. I'm not good about that. Turn right, advance, turn no sé qué direction. Discord, sure, but direction, turn right. How do I want to do this? Directions. I have no idea how to use enums. I think this is a good moment to learn about enums properly.
I always thought enums were the weirdest thing. I just could never. From my problem was I just never found.
So I think I'm looking at a quintessential enum use case, but I'm not too sure. No. So
Okay.
there's this robot, and this exercise is supposed to be like there's a robot, and the robot can only look at north, east, south, or west. And so you get a certain set of instructions, and then it needs to like turn left, right, and advance, right? So if you like, there's only 4 directions, so there's no need to treat them as strings. I think an enum is like the proper way to go. But I'm not sure like what that like how it makes code simpler yet. No, this is
That's where like I knew how it could be used, but actually practically implementing it, that's what I was kind of talking about. Ah, there we go. Let's see.
Julia Enums. Julia Essentials. That's the one. Julia Enum. There we go. That's it. Yeah, so you can create like fruits and apples, but like I'm not like what is that? How does that make my code easier?
Redact, it's pretty fun.
Oh,
Redact,
so
it's pretty fun.
instances. If I do instances here, oh.
Idea to solve transpose right now is you want to figure out the length of the incoming and from there you can determine how many rows that is. So that's my first thought. Let's see what else we can do.
I had to write down this function. Uh, 153.
Looks like I have to download the access or sign up for Exercism to be part of it.
Yeah, there's
No.
for now there's a small command line thing you have to download, and I made a video about that workflow on my channel if you're interested. So I go into like why it's cool, what you can sort of do, what's the normal workflow, and then like I didn't actually download the command line myself, but I go through like the basic steps. They have like a 2-minute click along tutorial, and you should be if you're using Linux or Arch Linux, you should be very comfortable like doing that command line stuff. So there's.
Oh, but I have to. Do I have to finish the other ones first?
So so the way that they have it structured now is that there's like if you go to my stream, I'll show you. It's twitch.tv/brainrpg. Right? It's on Slack. It's pinned to the channel now. Are you there?
There you go. Okay, I can see you.
So this is the exorcism page and on like dark mode. So let's say that I was solving the leap year, right? So okay, those are the instructions, and I'm like, all right, this is what I have to do. So far, so good. So I click on this copy, and then I put that in my terminal, and then that will download to the corresponding folder, and then I hack it through, and I run the tests, and then when I'm done, I do exorcism submit the file, and then it uploads here. So you get to see this, and I'm like, oh wow, this is the same code that Jacob wrote, basically, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then that's a first iteration. If you keep submitting, then I'm like, oh no, there's this like one-liner. I must do the one-liner, right? And so I was like, I feel so smart. And then usually, I think for this one got auto-approved. And then they're like, all right, you can go on to the next exercise. And so I'm like, all right, next exercise. So because it's on the main track, the next one gets like the next one gets unlocked. And then when you solve this one, then a mentor has to come in and say, oh, you solved that. Now you can go on, and then you can do all the side exercises. If you don't want to do any of that, you can click on this switch to practice mode, and then you can just solve them in any order. But you're not like forced to go through mentors. So going through mentors and having people review your code is actually like a really good way to learn. Sounds like you're a more experienced Julia programmer, but still. And then the other thing that I would the one other thing I would actually recommend is let's say this spiral matrix one. It's super gnarly, right? And then if you go into the view published solutions, community solutions, you can rank them by the number of stars they have, right? So if you click on this one has 4 stars, this one has 1 star. You'll get to see like how a person did a gnarly solution. You're like, oh my god, what is route 180? Why is it in base? Like, what is this thing? And so that's a very good way to learn. Like if you're not using like generators as comfortably as some other people, or the filter function, or whatever. That's what I found to be the most useful of Exercism.
By the way, your stream is like 10 seconds behind, so it's like I have to remember it for 10 seconds before I can see it.
Well, there's always the VOD now, right?
But I think I can follow you.
All right, great.
Okay, that sounds reasonable. So, but if I want to do like the transpose challenge right now, I can use the practice mode and then switch back to like normal, whatever the other mode is called.
Yeah, you should be able to.
Okay, all right.
So, and then that's going to change in the future, and there's going to be an online REPL and all sorts of cool stuff. But you know, pandemic happened, so who knows?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So,
by the way, what are you doing right now?
I'm doing this is the robot simulator. It's like one of the last ones.
Okay.
So this is the whole track, and then I've done like all the ones on the mentored path, and then it's one of the last side exercises. So if you solve any of these, like they don't count towards the normal progress, right? It's just so.
Okay. Yeah.
At the beginning, there's a lot of side exercises, and they're like 80% string processing, which I don't really care for. I mean, okay. I will actually like go back on this. I really didn't care that much, but because Scott Jones pushed me on it, and now that I know like a little bit of like more ways to be like more fast when it comes to like a little bit of speed processing, I actually built a very small parser for this Graphs IO thing that they got really bottlenecked on, and then I got smoked by Jacob Quinn's parsers.jl package, and I was like, wow. So there's like levels to this. So it's amazing. Like they use memory mapping and then like a really cool byte string processor. They don't do SIMD yet or multi-threading, but it's really, 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 really fast. It's like a 10,000 times improvement on their previous code. So now that I know like what performant code can look like, I'm like, okay, like I'm still only like doing ASCII stuff, but the people who do like, oh yeah, because it's just horrible.
Yeah, I can imagine that. That's not something for me.
But you know what? I do appreciate that. Like now, if I ever run into like a format that I need to load their files from, like I think I could like get around to building a parser for it. And building fast parsers is very much appreciated. Right?
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, I would probably just use this package anyways. Oh, so yeah, I'm trying to solve this robot simulator. So now I'm gonna do direction equal. I'm gonna do the brute force one, robot.h, the heading. If steer is equal to north, then
No. By the way, for you, I can change the video quality.
Yeah, somebody else just
Yeah.
commented that. We don't know how to. We don't. I might have like clicked on something a while ago, but I don't remember how to do it.
I wish I could change it because you made a really good point about who would be able to stream it. So I really would like to make it better for people.
That's the thing. So, Ule, maybe you don't. Maybe you would appreciate this, but I'm gonna write down varying video quality for Global South. So I was on a call yesterday with some of the Julia Diversity people, and it's just like the collected thoughts of what's going on with the streaming ecosystem. And so I'm going to write a little blog post that's going to be like, oh, what is it? What does it have to do with Julia? Like, where does it happen? How can streaming help me? How can I set it up? What are some good pointers before I start? So I have some, it's going to be a bit of a, like, what the hell is streaming, and like, what has the Julia community done with it? So I'm guessing a planned paired programming exercise gonna come with that, or like talking about this and the voiceovers in the Discord.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Oh, I'm showing on my stream right now the Jacob Quinn's implementation of the parser. That's like literally 10,000 times faster than the other parser they had in Graphs.io.
Okay, now I can see.
Oh wait, let me. You're on.
Yeah, wait for a second.
You're on delay. You're on delay. I'm gonna wait like 10 seconds so you can see it, but it's this function. Not parsing it as Julia, which is weird.
Oh, I still have tea left.
So I'm now seeing line 48, 65, 48 again, going up.
One thing that I just thought of, Miguel, was what if we tweet at Twitch? What if we were like, please help us, Julia folk. We need we need this for our community.
Yeah, for like educational, we could definitely do that. I mean, why not?
Let's try it. Let's try it. I'll try it a little later. I'm probably gonna wrap up in about 10 minutes and just call it good for now. But
yeah, I'm gonna try and finish this robot one, and then I'll be done too. But I can pick it up later.
I gotta switch over to work and studying some of my Spanish and Arabic today.
Oh,
I'm reading iRobot in Spanish. Yeah. No, I've had like a year's worth of Arabic so far, so I'm like,
Salam alaikum, habibi. That's about all the Arabic I speak.
Yeah, no, I can say like tamam alhamdulillah, which just is like, great, thank God, or praise to God. But no, I can speak it very like pretty broken, but I can at least just I could order food and stuff like that, and then I can write it, and I know the difference between I know how to read it, but then like I struggle a little bit with the difference between formal and spoken. It's fun. I really like it, but
oh, by the way, have you? So you will be able to appreciate this. Have you enjoyed the fact that there's so many borrowed words from Arabic to Spanish?
Yes, man, it's so cool.
It's so cool.
For example, in Arabic, there's sukar, which is just azúcar, and then like ojalá, it's just like Allah, and then there's another word.
Sock, calcetín.
Ahlan wa sahlan. We have an Arabic speaker in my chat. Oh my gosh. Wait, this is amazing. Hold on.
Oh, Servox. Cool. With all the diacritics and everything.
Yes. Well, no, he knows the hakarat. Oh, I'm so slow with typing. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Servox, I'm so sorry.
You don't realize how much of a challenge like switching between keyboards is, but until you get to like Arabic or Russian, and then you're like, oh wow, I don't know how to type.
Exactly. So also, my apologies, my Arabic spelling is horrible. I'm trying to say hello, but it's gonna go really badly. I just know it.
Salam alaikum. That's about as much as I know.
Assalamu alaikum. Yeah, and then you say alaikum assalam. That's like the response.
Yalla, yalla.
This is for let's go. Yalla Dina, let's go.
Yalla, yalla.
Okay, I was trying to say marhaba. I
Merhaba.
spelled that wrong, but it's fine. No, it's not. Sorry, just having a fun time with talking to this guy. Starbucks.
What is? Yeah,
So,
so we
Starbucks,
are.
to answer your question,
We
I've
are.
been learning for about a year. I learned it through my university for a while, and now I have a bunch of friends from just different parts of the Middle East who are helping me learn. So my friend, I have one friend in Saudi Arabia and another friend who's Lebanese. So we just chat every once in a while through Skype. So I also have like a small. I don't know if you can see my screen right now, but I have an Arabic storybook that I'm reading right now, and just building vocabulary, using like stuff like Anki and other things to like get things to memory.
Cool stuff.
Yeah, I've been reading iRobot though in Spanish, which has been pretty fun.
iRobot is cool. That's a good book. I very much like that book. I read a lot of Asimov when I was a kid.
Yeah, I read a lot of.
A lot.
I really like Clockwork Orange, 1984, Brave New World, Ray Bradbury, the classics, you know.
Oh, I'm an idiot.
Heard of the Pimp Slayer Arabic course? I
So you haven't used enum before, right, Miguel?
Nope. This is ugly code. I know it. Don't judge me.
No, it's okay. I haven't used it before. I was just trying something out in the REPL and I was confused because it starts with 0 and not with 1. So north is 0 and east is 1 and south is 2 and so on, which is against Julia.
Wait. What did you say? Like if you try to do what?
So when you write down north, for example, in your REPL now, it will say dear equal to 0. So it starts counting from 0.
Oh.
Which is a bit weird.
Yes.
But I don't know. I think it doesn't matter anyway. But
I think that's a C compatibility thing.
Just confused.
That must be.
Yeah.
Wait. We can do this. We can do this together. We're gonna read the enums from the enum thing from the manual. Examples: create an enum base type subtype with name, enum name, and add number to the value with optional assigned values respectively. Enum name can be used just like other types and enum member values as regular values, such as if it's a fruit and you feed it an apple, and you can do a fruit of 1. Okay. Must be a primitive subtype of integer. Robot has no field H. Oh no, data type. Oh, so Ole, maybe you can coach me on this because I always get like super stuck on this silly thing where I don't know when I should use like the name of the struct to dispatch on it, or when I should use the type of the name, or the type and then like the curly braces to dispatch on it. So I want to be able to do.
I see.
I want to be able to do turn right R.
I basically never use the one you use at the moment. I always use just robots, but I don't know whether there's actually a difference, and I don't know what difference that would be.
All right, because I'm almost sure that someone's gonna be like, Miguel, you're being an idiot when it comes to dispatch. Like, why would you do this? Like, this is just like horrible. So I think I'm gonna do this. I'm just gonna add an
Miguel,
abstract
you're
type.
too hard on yourself, man.
Abstract type. Abstract. I think you're supposed to just go with like the abstract types and then just be like, oh, this is a subtype, and then when I do this, I'm just like, ah, R is a type of abstract robot. But this is like the thing that I always reach for. So maybe someone could tell me.
Yeah, that's when you want to have more types of robots, of course.
Yeah,
So then
well,
you would do it like this. Yeah.
this keeps your code generic, right? So this would allow somebody else to come in and say like, ah, no, like I want a robot that looks in 6 directions or something, and then they can reuse all your code because they can reuse all your dispatching machinery, right? Hopefully.
Yeah, yeah. So the other point is that you basically here you just declare the function with the type, even though you don't have to do it like that. Just because, so you just write turn right because you want other people to write a function with the same name.
Mm-hmm. So I would just write. So I would just eliminate the type signature altogether.
You can, so this one works as well, but has less readability, and maybe some other person wants to have their own turn right function. So I think the one you had before is good usage, I would say.
Okay. Great. Yeah.
But for if you, for example, now had I don't know, turn and then robots, comma x, and you specify x to be float 32 or stuff like that, that would is sometimes not a good idea if it also works for integers and I don't know, maybe even arrays or whatever. So sometimes you shouldn't be too strict on your types.
Yeah. Did you read Ox in a Box's recent post on Julia anti-patterns, where they were too restrict when he was griping about people too restrictive on types? Thanks, M20B. We're actually discussing. This is why I actually like people like joining up on the voice channel. Like, there's a lot of, so even if your code works, like because you're gonna share your code with other people, there's such a social dimension to writing code, and like which considerations are gonna like end up hitting you in the long term that are just like there's a certain type of experience that you gain only by like interacting with people and their code bases. And it's not just like, ah, yes,
That's
I
true.
solved my exercise, like I am brilliant, I'm a genius. It's like, no, like this is a this is an exercise in social construction, right? And there's so much of it that is like a social tradition, and you need to like learn the ways and rituals of other people, no? And I think that having voice channels during this streaming thing helps a little bit towards that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So,
Okay, question for everybody. Speaking of that socialization, what is the best way to initialize a array in Julia?
it depends what you
Depends on
need.
what kind of array you want.
Yeah, so I'm looking at
okay.
your stream, and so usually people reach down for the array. You're missing a one comma one after the string to denote that it's a one-dimensional. Oh wait, no, you don't necessarily want that.
Yeah, I don't necessarily want that.
But people usually use the array and then the curly braces undef and then the size when they're really gunning for performance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So what
So
Sasha's recommending in chat is that you just do like a string array and then you just push into it.
Got you. Oh, that would make sense.
Yeah.
So this is just if you know exactly how big the array is at the beginning or how big the array will be, then it's faster than using push. But yeah, for small exercises, it probably doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm just thinking. I'm just, again, just still messing around kind of. But I'm just thinking like with what I'm trying to do right now. So I know how many rows the array is or the matrix, not the matrix, the array is going to have, but I just don't know. Oh wait, I'm thinking of this wrong. I think I'm thinking of matrix. I know how many rows the matrix is going to have, but not necessarily how. Well, I also know how many columns it will have too. So in that case, that's why I'm thinking it might be performant.
Abstract right. Miguelito. Oh, come on.
You all right over there?
Just hitting myself over and over. I swear, programming is an exercise in masochism. Supposed to be productive masochism, but we're getting there.
You're not wrong.
There's so much of the coding that's like psychological. It's pretty interesting. Like it's more like.
By the way, are you using Revise, Miguel?
Am I using Revise? So I should be using it.
Here it really doesn't matter because you don't call a function. So
I have tried. Actually, if you can coach me on how to use Revise properly, I would appreciate it, because I think that the way you're supposed to do it is you put that string like on your this thing on your Julia config startup, right?
oh yeah.
So I have that, and so it's definitely like working every time that I start up my Julia, but I don't really have the workflow down. Like I think you're supposed to just be like, ah yes, clearly the which one is it? Turn right.
No, you don't have it in. Oh, you have. Oh, okay.
Wait, robot, and then north, right? And
well,
then
because I only learned quite recently that you can use include with a T in the end, so include T to load it into Revise. Which I didn't know before, and after that I celebrated.
Wait, so since you're not editing a module here, you can do using Revise include T. Oh, Sasha's saying the same thing in chat, and it will load changes to the file automatically. Oh my lord!
Yeah.
So this is if you're looking at my stream, this is what I do every time someone like teaches me something mind blowing. I go here and I go This is lesson number 154 of programming with Julia. If you use Revise, make sure to load files with include T and then foo.
Yeah, so I have actually no idea what the T stands for, but
yeah, neither do I. I think I'm gonna ask Revise in a second so that it gets so that it loads changes to the file automatically. Oh my god.
Yeah. So for your run test, that's not really useful because you call run tests every time.
Yeah.
And not just a function. So you have to include it normally, I think.
But if that's a nasty error trace. Oof, that's nasty.
Sorry, just Sasha was just telling me about size. It's a very interesting method I've never heard of before. It allows you to allocate space in your memory for how many entries you'll need.
Yeah, that's true. But defining it beforehand seems to be much faster in my. At least that's what I am getting of size_int. By the way, I think I found out the reason for include T.
Revise.track?
Stands for track, yeah.
Yeah, nothing like the help docs. It's just, oh, by the way, do you know like my super nasty shortcut for getting it to like all the functions that are defined in a module? I do you start, if you're looking at my screen right now, I do the revise.
Probably 10 seconds behind, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, so you do revise dot, and then you do tab, and then that will auto expand to like all the things that are defined there. And then
yeah.
I love this so much. So much. I swear, like 90% of my needs are like app completions. There.
Is there actually any other way to get all the functions? Like, is there something like methods of revise? Or
I think you can do revise names. Those are all the ones that are exported. But you can do...
okay.
Let's try apropos names. Let's try fields. Field names. Field names revise.
But I think field names is for structs, right?
I think, oh, it doesn't apply to modules. No. Oh, we could do methods.
Methods also doesn't work.
No, but we could do methods with modules or module, and then that will output all the methods that can take in a module as a parameter. So, okay, those don't look too useful, but date format string everywhere. Okay, so macro stuff, no, I don't think that's it. Full name, get property, methods.
Oh, but that's
names of, path of, set property names. Oh, let's try that. Revise. No.
okay, but methods with only works if, like, for your turn right, it would be methods with abstract robot, right?
Methods turn right. Yeah. I get a lot of Slack notifications. No, I just posted on contentious threads in the morning. So, and by contentious I mean someone said Julia was slow, and then that was just like obviously like nerd sniping people into hacking a benchmark performance a lot. Those aren't people who are like directly adding me. They're just like people who also respond in the thread that I like commented something on. Methods. I don't know how to get that. Like all the.
Okay.
Well, but I just do the tab and then that's enough.
Yeah. That's true.
Like someone maybe on the video can like come up with a more clever answer and like post it on Slack and ping me, or that would be pretty cool. I'll add it to my ever-growing list of. Why doesn't this work? Have you used the debugger yet, Ole?
I found in love. I fall in love with Infiltrator. So not the real debugger.
Okay. Ooh,
Have you
cool.
used that one before?
I I remember Googling it when it first came out, but I haven't, like, I started using a debugger. Oh, Jacob, I very much recommend that you familiarize yourself with the debugger when you're starting out with Exercism.
Okay,
Debugger.jl or
debugger.
maybe even Infiltrator, just something to like quickly go through like what the logic is going on in your program. Because otherwise you're just gonna stare at code for hours and be like, why could this be wrong? And it's just way easier to like. There's tools that do that.
Yeah, the problem with the normal debugger for me was that it doesn't work too well when your project gets too big, because then it has a lot of
Compilation stuff.
extra compile time, I would say. I don't know what's the correct wording for it.
Yeah.
And Infiltrator doesn't, it just breaks at that macro and there's no overhead. But you don't have this step functionality.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a real debugger, I
Okay.
would say.
I'm just looking at the VS Code has a Julia extension called Judy, which is the Julia debugger, I guess, for VS Code. I just never heard of it before.
Yeah, there's probably going to be a lot more changes in the pipeline for VS Code because people are like, somebody posted some like chart on the activity that Atom has received versus VS Code, and it's like, yep, people are moving away from Atom within GitHub. So it hasn't received like.
I'm kind of sad about that because I actually honestly do like Atom, especially the Geno setup.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Unfortunately, I just don't. It's just difficult because I don't think it's a big priority for Microsoft anymore, which is sad. Because I thought it was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. But
oh, so Jacob, if you look at my stream right now, I'm going through like the debugger, and there's like 4 commands that are really useful. I mean, there's a lot more, but there's like the bare bones are just like step next, step into, and then like ask for the frame and set a breakpoint and continue.
That's the hardcore debugging.
Yeah, this is a bit. Everyone starts with print lines and infos, and then like you just end up using debuggers. The poor man's debugger is the print line. It works a lot.
the poor man's debugger.
Yeah.
All right, let's look at what
Budget
you're doing
debugger.
here.
East. Set property H. East.
I quite
What
like
is my
that.
robot? Let me try and do that. R. What is R? R dot H is North Deer. All right.
Right,
then-
man.
Type data type has no field H. And how can I mutate this R? I'm doing something really silly. Somebody sent me a DM. This is the first one. Regarding what the difference between F type A versus F. Oh, somebody very kindly messaged me via Slack on like my silliness with regards to what different dispatching on type, on like if something is a type of A versus the type curly brace A. Here's an example. Basically, the formula lets you specialize on an unstantiated type, while the others doesn't, I believe. So you can have struct of A, true, is not an integer A, false. Thanks a lot, Michelle. I'll be sure to write that down. Let me make a note of that on my diary, and then we'll get to that. 155, dispatching on that versus that type. To do. So thanks a lot, Michelle. I'll get back to that. Is not an integer a, is integer a, is not an integer a3. Okay, cool. Thanks a lot. I'll get around to it. For now, I think I just need. Oh, it's because I'm not declaring this as mutable. I'm an idiot. You guys still there?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool. Oh, it's just.
But I don't think that you need this mutable, right? Because I think if you just write struct, it's a short form of mutable struct.
No. Structs are immutable by default. I'm almost sure of that.
Okay.
And that's actually a really big thing because for performance reasons. Yeah. And so in the help doc it says structs are immutable by default. An instance of one of these types cannot be modified after construction. Use mutable struct instead to declare a type whose instances can be modified.
All right, guys. I think I'm gonna take off now. I'm gonna call it good for today. This is a lot of fun. I'm glad we were able to get some more things figured out with streaming. But yeah, so I guess on the to-do list though, at least is we need to figure out how to get one of us in the Twitch community affiliate status so we can set up a squad.
Boost me! I want the memes and the emojis.
We need this to happen.
Yeah,
and then
there's one
also
Julia streamer. We can do it with one, maybe.
we just need one.
I think that's
so then,
enough. So I don't know if everyone needs to be like a Twitch partner or affiliate, or if just one of them is a Twitch partner or affiliate, then other people can join that, because it might be that like you become way too popular for us and then we don't get to be on your squad.
Just way too cool.
Yeah, the Julia you can't sit with us team. Go.
Yeah. So we need to figure that out, and then other than that though, I need to figure out how to get my stream quality so where you can change it differently, because that's just such a good point. That I can't stream on different resolutions. So, all right. Well, anyways, this was a lot of fun, guys. I will chat with y'all later. Thanks, and also thanks everyone to watching me stream for a bit. This is awesome. Thanks, Stacked and Sasha and Tayeb. Tayeb, I'll make sure to follow up with. So, all right. Well, I'll catch y'all later.
See you.
Cheers.
Bye, guys.
Okay, Miguel. So
Yeah.
I think I was just wondering why you need the mutable struct in this case.
Don't. I'm just changing it right now because I can just return a new immutable robot, right? Because I'm just changing one thing at a time.
No, because the mutable actually only stands for that you can change the field names, I think.
Oh, really?
If that makes sense. Yeah, because let me.
I'm cooking an example in my REPL right now. So if I do a of 3, let's say that I do a is equal to a of 3, and then I do a of x equals 4. Immutable struct of type a cannot be changed. Yeah, and that's just what I want to do, right? I want to be able to change those. I want to be able to change those. Those field values. Why can't?
Oh, okay. That's okay. I have to think about it again.
Why can I do that? And why does it work in the REPL and not in my code? Look at that. See, like, I have this robot, I take its heading, and I change it to west, and now that robot points to west, sure. But if I want to do it, like, here. Why is it not doing that? Oh, I'm an idiot. Now I know why. Oh, yep, nothing to see here. I'm using the type and not the variable. I'm a genius. Nobody saw that. Oh my god, it's live on stream. Did you catch that? Why it's not working?
I see. Yeah, okay.
But I think
have you seen the comment from Sasha? So I think
if
it's
the field
just
is
because
mutable, struct of A, X is a vector, and it works, I think. So if point was mutable, robot could be immutable.
yeah.
If the field is mutable, e.g. struct of that, it works. All right, thanks Sasha for your input. By the way, people, I think I'm gonna be trying this out for like 10 more minutes, and then I'll head out to like relax my brain and or eat. We've been at this for 1 hour and 26 minutes. I think that's pretty good. And I'm happy. We've made some progress. We've learned things. We found issues in base. I could make it. So Sasha, the short answer is I could make it a vector. I just thought that enums could be suited for this type of problems, and I just wanted to try it out. It might not be the best reason or way to like deal with enums, but I'm trying to do exercisms so that I know more parts about base Julia and how to use them in different places. So that means that it's going to be awkward in a lot of places where they're not supposed to, but it's like part of the learning process. Like, yes, they could be a vector or like a global tuple, and I could just check for those, but I just wanted to try this out just to get a hang of it. Enums definitely work well here. That's how I solved it as well. Okay, great. So I'm not being like too boneheaded. Awesome. Oh, so maybe Sasha, you can answer. I can have an immutable. So if I have an immutable struct like robot, but point is mutable, and
then you can change the point.
Then I can
change the robot.
Yeah. That's something that I need to try that out. And then what would be the performance benefits of either of one? You can have mutable structs inside immutable structs. Which one is more performant? So yeah, so basically anytime anyone tries to like tell me like try and do this, not do that, or it's something about base Julia that I didn't know, I just try and write it down on that journal, and it really helps out for like, because it always happens that like I look at some random thing and it's like, that's cool, and then like a week later someone in Slack is like, what is this function that I needed? And it's like, yes, clearly you needed to do base dot parse input line, no? Or what was the other one? It was I hope I wrote that one down. I didn't write it down. Then this is a good thing to write down. 157, and it's because I think someone posted this. If you haven't looked at the Slack thread, I think it's on Discourse too, where it's like, I defined a function, right, and it did something, no? But if I define the same function and I use where t, but it doesn't work, you get like a 200 times performance penalty. And then someone pulled out this function like unbind. What was the name of it? I propose unbound. No, not unbounds. Detect unbound args. Right? So it's like, yes, clearly test detect. Like if one of your functions has a type parameter that just isn't bounded, this function will tell you, yes, this is it. Oh, there we go. Detect unbound args. Return a vector of methods which may have unbound type parameters. I had no idea this thing existed. Test.detect. But I should also like, I'm gonna look for that example and then like place it in the journal so that I know what to look for next. Huh. All right. So, what was I at? Was including these things? All right. Yeah. So that works. Turn left does not work. And turn left is going to be a glorious, horrible switch statement again. And we're going to do the same. Give me a second. Now we're good. I think I can finish this. If dir equals north, then the robot should head west. Else if the dir is equal to east, the robot should head north. Else if the dir is equal to south, then the robot should head east. Else, just point north.
I'm not sure whether that's super useful, but you might also want to consider that you can just increase the direction and then overflow back to 1.
Yeah, I thought about doing like some mod-based logic where you could just like detect that. I also thought about just doing bit masks, right? And then
because
using that as a signal there.
When you just have turn right and turn left, you only need +1 and -1, which might be reasonable to do.
And then I might use the one of my favorite Julia functions. Do you know about mod1? I love this function because I spent like 5 hours trying to implement like this thing on a grid, and I needed it to like wrap around, but it's Julia's 1 base, so I definitely needed this. So this might be, I don't know how fast it is.
Or just what Sasha mentioned, to use complex numbers, like similar to the Langtons aren't.
I am dying to try and implement that, because that means that so you do a complex multiplication, but you do oh wait, you could have like some int-based complex numbers that are like very compact and fast, right?
Yeah.
Oh, is there like a complex like int16 implementation? Because that
I think you can just write down
that implementation
complex.
fits in a 64-bit. Huh. Maybe. Okay, so let me read Sasha's comment. During advent of code, someone suggested using complex number for the coordinates on a similar example. Then rotating can be done by multiplying the coordinate with plus or minus I. Yep. So I looked at your video and I'm like, oh my god, he used complex numbers. I'm dying to like implement something with that soon. And I'm like, that's so silly. You're just turning 90 degrees. Why not just multiply it by I or minus I? That's so clever. Or rather, like, that's the canonical use case, right? North, east. West. Yeah, this. Ugh. What I meant. Yes, let's try that. I'm going to give you full credit here.
By the way, one other way would be to have basically what I said before was +1 and -1, and then just extend the plus method of base with your direction method or your direction enum to overflow it. And then if you have like 4 + 1, then it overflows to 1.
Oh, let me write that down.
but I don't know whether that's unreadable code in the end.
Let me see. Let me write this. OpenSource.es Langton's ant. So usually I try to like also include like links because there's no way that I will remember this forever and ever. Visualizing Langton's ant. Yeah. And so I will do that, and then there, and then yeah, and then what did you say? I do that, and then I try to mention that it's for exorcism robot. Which one? What's it called? Robot simulator.
Robot simulator.
Yeah. There's a lot of these like so for example this one, right, the run length encoding, like I ran into like sometimes you can declare variables and not assign them, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'd forgotten that, so because I forgot it, I might as well just write it down so it doesn't happen again. And so I have some of these like things peppered in with with the exercism links. And then you said that another approach for exercism robot simulator is to override the base implementation of plus so that it overflows to 1 on the enums, right?
Yeah. So you should be able to use base dot plus and then dir and then integer. And I think, yeah, you should be able to know
like as
how
an
many
infix, as a prefix operator, so just like that.
So
no, that's too gnarly. Let me.
And then you can also check the length of your direction, I suppose, to see how many directions there are to overflow at the right point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that could be more easily extended to a hexagonal grid if you're doing clockwise or counterclockwise things.
Yeah. Then it would be easier than the complex number solution.
Yeah, because for the complex number, it works with ints if it's just 90 degrees, right?
Yeah, well, you can use it in general for just rotating with complex numbers.
Yeah.
It's just simple with 90 degrees.
There's also probably a way that you can save not looking at adjacent branches, or like I've just thought about ways that you can do like the game of life in a performant way, or like these automatons, and you're not like always looking at immutable struct of type robot cannot be changed. Oh, it's because I'm silly. Try that. All right, I'm about to call it quits. I'm getting way too hungry. But Ule, it's been a pleasure having you around. Thanks a lot for all your input. You see how much you can learn if someone's just like commenting on your code. Like if I was trying to read chat and like do my code thing at the same time, that would be really, really hard.
That's true.
Why is it rotate? What is going on? Oh, it's because I did something silly. rotate +2, rotate, okay. If I'm looking north and I want to turn left, I should go west. If I'm looking east and I want to turn left, I should go north. If I'm looking south and I want to turn left, I'm going to look east. If I'm looking west, I'm going to look south. That should be the one. And then heading R equals east. If I'm looking at the east and I turn left, I'm going to look north. Yeah. So the south. Now let's try this. Okay. Advanced not defined. That's fine.
And like a third or fourth or whatever fifth option would be to use a dictionary and then just plug in the keys here.
Yeah, but then if you use dictionaries, all the mentors are like, dictionaries are not performant. So actually, I think the better thing to do would be to actually implement a name tuple, because your dictionary is static, right?
Yeah, that's true.
I'm still not completely familiar with how to squeeze the most out of name tuples, but I just know that if I have a dictionary that's immutable, I might as well just use a name tuple. And bonus points if it's short, right? You don't want a name tuple that's incredibly huge, I think.
That's true, yeah.
But
and there are also something like little dict and
immutable
like
dict. They're in, I think it's a 1.5 thing, but there's now a base immutable dict. Yeah. Which you can add keys to, but you can't delete them from. It is not possible to remove a value, although it can be partially overridden and hidden by inserting a new value with the same key. It is optimal for small dictionaries that are constructed over many individual insertions. So we have base immutable dict now. I think it's a 1.5 thing, but I wouldn't know. I just know that Colin posted it at some point. Sasha, I'm not yet familiar with Twitch emojis, so when you're posting that on Twitch chat, I've seen them, but I'm not sure what they all mean. I need to up my emoji game. Yeah, I'm sorry. I've seen a lot of people do streams, but I just don't. I've never participated that much on Twitch chat. I appreciate emojis. Don't get me wrong. We are an emoji supporting Twitch channel, but I just don't understand all the ones on Twitch. Advance. So our abstract robot.
That emoji looks more like thinking and not laughing, but okay.
Yeah, I feel that emotion is questioning my life choices. It's like, really? You're gonna go ahead and do that, and then you put your hand on your chin. Okay. But it's part of it's so that's also going to be in the guide, hey, there's a jargon that is used on streaming and twitching, and press F to pay respects, no, and all those other sorts of memes, which are going to be new to a lot of people. Advance. Oh yeah, so advance is.
Oh wow.
Yeah, this one's going to be a little bit more. This one's going to be like a 4-way branch too. It's just increasing in different directions. So I think I can do that when I come back from having a meal, because I am getting hangry now. But thank you so much for stopping by.
You're welcome. It was a lot of fun.
You are very much welcome to if I open up a channel for you on the Discord, and if you want to have people join in as well, then that's set up for you, and you should be able to mod people and let them post links there or whatever. At least that's the dream. Because I mean, there's only 5 of us streaming right now, and getting involved with this with Julia, but I think that as it grows, there's going to be some moderation needed as to who can participate, how, and who gets to decide. But the idea is that for your voice channel, you get complete freedom as to who you let into your voice channel.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can use invitations. Okay, yeah. All right. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about as well. Because I also have a Patreon page, so they should get invited as well.
Yeah. Feel free to post it in other places if you want them to contribute on the stream. Like it's your voice channel and your text channel you are the king of the hill there. So I just set that up for Julia streamers, and then they're welcome to use it as a playground. Okay, at any rate, thanks a lot for stopping by, people. Cheers.
All right, see you.
Oh no, I froze.